just decided to break my schedule a little to give a bit of an update for you guys. I'll be honest, yes, last night I had a bit of a situation that made me realize if I don't get this off my chest right now, I'm gonna not enjoy this game. If I don't say it. And that's basically, I don't want to just endlessly farm. And by that what I mean is I just want to enjoy my game. I've always, since the start of Genshin, I've always taken a more casual approach to this. I know I'm not the best optimized. I know I'm not the best geared in artifact. I don't have some of my characters are not as strong as they could be. But that's because I don't play this game on a religious level. I don't play this game to where I need to constantly know how to do the best. And
by royal decree, nice and spicy.
And just
crumble, gather.
I'm trying to get my thoughts all together because I'm not doing, because I'm doing this off script basically. No extra knowledge or nothing. But essentially, before Genshin, I don't like the meta of Genshin. I'm just gonna I'm gonna say this part straight up. I don't like it, and I utterly despise melt and vaporize. Like you've probably seen me. You guys probably know that's obvious already because I don't have any comp that uses freeze or that uses vaporize or melt, and that's my choice because I've always had more fun with overload, electrocharged, swirl right there in that instance.
I will have
and basically the other elemental reactions that aren't those two are the ones I have more fun with. Because I feel more enjoyment out of those because it makes me have more fun in a sense, if that makes if that makes sense.
Stabilize. Order guide you.
And
violet grass is a plant that enjoys.
Again, it's hard recollecting my thoughts like this, and no, it's not because I'm playing a game at the same time. I am able to game and talk at the same time. It's just that this is, I guess in a way, it's a more personal matter because this isn't the first game where it had a meta. I'm not that big of an idiot. I've always been in every game I've played, from League, Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, back when I used to do that, back when I had the rare example of doing PvP StarCraft. There's always been co-ops, there's always been metas, and I've done all of those, and I just never found it fun.
I swear by my sword.
And I just find it draining to always have to go and to do all this stuff just to appease a meta. And I have seen personally many people just getting exhausted, like outright hating a game because of just not being able to play what they want. And I'm not saying this to anyone in specifically. I've always like since I started streaming Genshin, I've already had people offline saying I'm unoptimal and all that crap. And I just didn't care at the start. But over time, it's just gotten more and more and more annoying to the point where I kind of started dreading streaming Genshin, and I don't want to be in that position of dreading to stream Genshin. Because I genuinely do love the game. It's just so many people are constantly telling me I'm doing this wrong, I'm not mid-maxing, I don't have the right artifacts. And it's just, I know, but I just want to enjoy a game for what it is. A game. And I've always said in the start, like, I'm not gonna care about my artifacts at the start. I never did. And I kept true to that word. And only now that I started finally getting to a better sense, where, and by that I mean, like, now I'm able to, I've said in a couple streams, I said I would go and get better artifacts for one character at a time to not overburden myself. And I've done that offline. The past few days where I haven't streamed Genshin is because I did all that stuff online, because to be honest, doing it online is kind of boring. And I'll be honest, like, I've had my boyfriend help me with this, and as I said, I changed Jean's stuff to be like this. They're not the best level. Like, I could obviously get, like, I'll be honest, I can get better stuff. Like, without a doubt, I can get better stuff. But it just gets tiring. And that's the thing. When I was grinding to find all this, I've now gotten both sides of this experience. I've always seen people stream themselves farming artifacts, and I've gone, wow, this is boring to watch. And now that I've experienced it, it's because, well, it is boring. There's not much enjoyment or stuff you can do aside from if it was in, like, say if this was in PvP, then, well, not PvP, but if this was in co-op, then there would be a lot more crazy shit happening. And that crazy shit would be a lot more enjoyable to see, but I've always, again, those previous games have had me just be, like, wary of doing solo mode co-ops. I do have friends that I could do this with, but again, these friends aren't like me, that they have a lot of time to spare, and I actively decide not to do this every fucking day, because burnout is a thing, and I've been trying to ease myself off it, and it's just, again, not fun. Because if I'm having to do this little update video, that probably just means that, yeah, no. It's just started to not be fun anymore. And I don't want that, because I love this game to bits. I've had a bit of what I thought was buyer's remorse from doing what I did for Zhongli, but no, it was, I got over it, and it was just a bit of wounded pride scenario. I've gotten over that, but I just really found myself just not happy over what I had to do. And I'm gonna keep doing this of upgrading a character, but only one at a time, because I got no enjoyment from just grinding artifacts for Jean. Like, there was some fun stuff, like of 3 vent. Like, I went in as a venti just to scoop some of the enemies up for 1 round, and I ended up with 3 venties on my team, and that was fucking hilarious. Endless black holes. I had another one where I ran into the rare and endangered DPS Barbara, and that was a fucking laugh, and also a scary thing to see a Barbara doing that much damage. But it's things like that offline that I can enjoy, but the main reason why I loved to bits the lower your world level by 1 level feature that they added was because I was in no way ready for world level 6. I only did it to upgrade to world level 6, just so that I could downgrade back to world level 5 and make sure everything I had was up to level, which I did. But at that point I was like, okay, I just need to go 1 by 1 all of my character's artifacts. And I did that with Jean first, because I love Jean the most. And it was just not... I'm kind of tripping myself over because it's kind of... Because I'm thinking to myself, how can I say all this without, like, sounding like a complete asshole? But I guess it's best to show it. I've been focusing on just these main 4, and by main 4 I mean Fischl, Jean, Xiangling, and Ether. Which probably a lot of people just say like, oh, you're leveling Ether. That's wrong. I know my animes, guys. This game is basically an anime, and I know that there's always a part where the protagonist is a shonen anime. And there's going to be a part where we're going to be forced to be Ether with maybe all the elements, and the talents for each element of Ether are separate. It's why I focused on getting all of Animo's Ether's things to 6 minus his his E and Q, because I got those to 7, and then the +3 from his talents got those to 10. I'm grinding right now for Reaction Force. I could try to get Meteor Impact, but Reaction Force is pretty much where I can get it the best, because that's going to give me more energy recharge. But this is where I can keep it safe. And I've primarily just focused on those 4 for the longest time, because it's where I got my most team synergies, and you can even see it with my elemental resonance. I don't go for 2 to 3 characters of a specific element, because I know realistically, even in a casual player sense, if I go for 2 of my team members being the same element, yeah, I get a nice elemental resonance that does me a lot of more benefits than disadvantages, but I just really don't want to do that.
Rise.
And I'm also trying to keep my temper in check, because I really don't want to explode on this. But essentially,
By royal, nice and spicy.
like that combo that you always see me do with Xiangling and Fischl, that's what I like. Especially, and once Inazuma comes out, I'm gonna be switching Zhongli for Ether again. Maybe, because it would depend on what I need, because I know the levels don't reset. But I do need to level Electro Traveler. And then once I do, I might, and this is a big might, switch Fischl for Electro Traveler, depending on how good they are. And
Oz, reveal thyself.
and it's just gonna be a lot more enjoyable to play what I wanna play, especially in a cap, especially because you guys may not notice, but offline, despite me having a lot of free time, I don't have like I don't have the best like time investments because I got a lot of stuff to do and not a lot of time to do it with. So every time I do get to stream, that's because I got a few hours in that day I can squeeze a stream in. And that's just like, that's the best I can do. I don't have a lot of time to just endlessly grind. I got a crystal top off, but that's mainly because, but I don't want to waste the entirety of that crystal top off. My first crystal top off, to be in fact, to add on just endlessly replenishing primogens, to use that primogens to replenish my resin to make it just be able to farm more artifacts, because and all my artifact farming that I did for Jean was just purely using condensed resin. And I never went below, and I never used up all 5. I always left at 1, used up all my resin to make 4 more, used those 4. Next day, I did the same again. I replenished resin, didn't do anything for that day. Next day, I used the condensed and then reused the original 4 more condensed. Because, and it was fun, artifact grinding with my boyfriend, but again, just not the best enjoyment overall. And
By royal decree,
And-
into the fire.
Solidify.
like, I will admit,
I will have order.
it is just playing like this is a lot more fun because where I can just focus whenever and not have to worry a lot about stuff. Just going full casual. It's where I got, again, more enjoyment because that's what I prioritize more over anything else. Just, am I having fun? If it's yes, I go and do more of that. If not, I kind of stop slowly playing the game more and more to the point where I'm now just where I just really don't want, to the point where I just don't play it anymore. And I'd rather be suboptimal than just not have fun. Because over-investing is a thing. And I just don't want to over-invest because I no longer have fun.
Solidify.
And I will admit, it was fun a little for the first few rounds of artifact grinding, and I think the it rewinds back to this. It's just that a meta exists, and no, this isn't some hipster, oh, I hate what's trendy thing, or whatever it is called nowadays. It's just a very realistic, I don't want to do this. Because there's a lot less fun. It's why I haven't even used my second string list. It's like, I haven't leveled it to give it to Venti, but I also haven't fused it for official. For official string list, because I'm like, I know whichever one I do, people are gonna bitch. And I exploded last night, like I said previously a few minutes ago, but it really soured a lot of people. Like, my explosion really soured the attitude of a lot of people. Some of them even saying, just stop, and I'm like, I did. For that whole week where there was just no streaming, that was me giving it a break. Sorry about that. My throat hasn't also been feeling the best at all. But it's also why I've just given up a bit on trying to, because every person I've tried to meet always has their own interpretation of just trying to be, you know, meta, so nothing is gonna make anyone happy.
By royal decree.
And I'm not gonna change my weapons. At least not now. I will, but only after I've gotten other characters, like, more ready. Because then I butchered that sentence, but it's, again, just it's just, I'd rather take it slow. Like, again, I say I want to be suboptimal because it's better than burning myself just to be optimal. And while, yes, I will, and the reason I haven't been getting more upgrades of each Battle Pass weapon is because I want to get every Battle Pass weapon first, and then just do more and more. Well, to be specific, I want to get every Battle Pass weapon and then dedicate the next 4 Battle Pass weapons, well, the next 4 Battle Passes for more copies of that specific weapon, just so that I can be, okay, I'll get you to max refinement. It's why I'm also not very, come on, prototype whenever I do these weekly bosses, because that's just gonna, having that mentality is just prepping me for disappointment. And again, better to never do that than to always be disappointed in the game. And and well, that's an well, that was one failed, but I hope you guys are getting the point, because I'm still struggling to come up with this without exploding, because And don't try to backseat game. Don't try to say anything, or even don't just say, okay, anger management, because trust me, if I could have gotten them long ago. And this is just me with my own self-coping. But that's not the case of the video for right now. The case of the video is I'm keeping the weapon on Jean right now because it's gonna take time for me to get everything ready for a replacement weapon for her. I have the flute. I'm getting the black sword. I'm getting the black sword, then the iridescent hunt, and then just getting.
Oz, reveal thyself.
And then
Nice and spicy.
just trying to get things ready. Because the weapon I have for Xiangling right now, that's gonna go for Rosaria if I ever get her. And then the Dragon's Bane is gonna get to Xiangling. Because the original plan that I had was get Deathmatch, and then give the prototype Star Glitter to Xiangling. But then I got Zhongli, and now I'm using the prototype Star Glitter on him. And I guess this just goes that I want to play this game like a single player. I know the co-op exists, but I've probably just been repeating myself for the past few minutes, but this is what happens when you go off script. You go into an update video without a script. And I've never been one for scripts at all. I prefer to just speak my mind as it's coming up. Which is probably, again, not the best thing.
Stabilize.
By royal decree.
But, again, it's just what I've been enjoying a lot. And it just makes it a lot better for me, especially for my sanity, because I have never been one for grinding a lot. Genshin is the only one that currently makes grinding fun. And that's again because I get the choice of doing what I want to do, instead of being forced to just not do the way I want to do. And
Barbados.
it's been working in my favor, this kind of playstyle. And I guess again it goes back to this. I'll keep streaming Genshin, I'll keep playing it, but a lot of things just did not go my way. And Energy Amplifier was an event that just utterly drained me, and that wasn't even a I'm under geared situation. That was just the MiHoYo decided every enemy needed multi-shot, and then suddenly a bunch of their defenses multiplied by 100%, by times 100, and that just did not make anything fun. Like, legit, it did not make anything fun. Because, trust me, I tried. Even with my friends, a lot of my friends said, yeah, that it was unnecessarily harder than normal. And right now I have... You may not be hearing it, but he's he's in the VC with me muted because he's trying to give me support through text in making sure I don't explode. And by he, I mean my boyfriend. And it's just consistently been the same thing over and over. I try to do something that's meta. I end up getting pissed. I stopped playing the game for a while because I know that if I keep playing while pissed and I'm not like pressed for time, then I can just stop. And I can play the game much more in a more fun way. This probably doesn't make any sense at all, but fuck it. I just wanted to get this over with. And today is Sunday, so yeah, tomorrow I still will be playing Hollow Knight, because I decided I need more variety. And more of that variety is just going to help me not be burned out as much. It's the reason why I started Subnautica on release date instead of, after release date. Because I just wanted to try something new. And it probably didn't do well. And I haven't even uploaded it to YouTube yet. It's like this one is taking priority right now. Because I decided this one was more important than just another the new game of the month sort of stuff. And it's also, and again, that kind of just bad taste and experience with games fully relying on a meta. Or not even a meta, just, hey, here's how you can eke out every single point of damage you can without being meta kind of mentalities are what made me heavily invest into single player games. Because it was a lot easier to just play single player games where that kind of mentality just does not exist. The only optimization you can do is just placement. The placement of certain things over one another.
By royal decree, get them.
And
Midnight then. Solidify.
And well, again, I'll be honest, I've been liking Subnautica, and it was a fresh breath of fresh air to stream that instead of Genshin. And just again, I'm struggling, but I have a lot more the reason I haven't been able to, just do this on stream was because there's content to do. And by doing all that content first, I prevent myself getting bored. And, well, not just bored, but also just prevent myself from being able to do something when I'm already exhausted. It's like And you can also tell by my battle pass, I just like kind of stopped with Genshin for a while, because normally at this point I would be like, I would already be at 10, maybe 15 marker. And I just really decided to stop. Because of just trying to think of the best words for this. I want to say thank you to the people who did give me suggestions for how to best optimize characters. And I'm just gonna tell you all, I've already been planning that. It's just that every time I wanted to do it, content would... Oh. Well, here, you guys get something new to read while I'm giving you this update. But...
Ad Astra Abyssal.
But just being able to do what I want at a pace that I want without having to just get so tired out just means I can just relax in a bit. Because again, you're probably just screaming at me, get to the point, but that's the problem. I kind of can't get to the point because there is no point to make. That's the thing about general update videos. And no, that's, at the end, you can't just say, oh, or don't say I'm quitting Genshin. Because to be honest, Genshin is just getting, the content drought is done. I don't have to struggle about streaming when there's nothing to do. I haven't streamed the Energy Amplifier event, but then again, the Energy Amplifier event's kind of been a pain in the ass. But it's just, I guess that's just how things go. And I'll do this, I would get all this stuff normally. Like, normally this kind of stuff doesn't get at me so quickly. But I felt like if I didn't make an update video about this, I would just explode again offline, and the next time, and I know myself pretty well, the next time I explode to that same level, nobody's gonna exist anymore. Nobody's gonna want to be around me anymore. So I'm doing this not only to just explain why I keep doing things in a suboptimal way, but it's also just to explain why I'm slow with a lot of stuff. Because there's no fun. Again, I'll make this blatantly obvious. There's just no fun in trying to be optimal. Because it's just needless grinding. And yes, you can say, oh, that's a grind-a-thon in of itself, but here's the thing. Oh, wait, I don't even need to be in this here, because this one will prove my point. every weapon you see here, you'll see that all of them, well, most of them, are on first ascension. This one, you guys already know what it's gonna happen with this one. It's either gonna be a second one for Venti, or I'm just gonna put this to increase the stringless. These three, I'm going to try and put them at second ascension, and the ones you see here that are blue that are beyond second ascension were because I didn't have anything else. This one was Noel's weapon for the longest time. This one was Xiao's weapon for the longest time before I gave him the death match. And while yes, the damage in this one is higher than this, it's also, the crit rate is already more than enough. And I don't consider rolling, like just making a stream where I just roll nonstop as content, because it's not. It's not content in any sense of the word. At least to me, it's not content I can realistically enjoy. And I feel that if I keep doing this more and more, trying to play in a way that I don't have fun, I'm just gonna end up hating this game before Inazuma comes out, and then I'll just be like, I don't care about the story, I don't care about what you're doing, game. You tired me out, I don't give a shit. And I don't want to reach that point. Because I will say that, and you can ask any other person, once you reach that point to a game, it's gonna take forever to get you out of that type of mentality. It will take you forever to get out of that mentality. And this is not a game I want to have that mentality. I already have that for Overwatch. I did a little event for a skin of my favorite character. Let's see, with all the changes that they made, did the game improve? No, it did not. With this game, I don't have that fear. But at the same time, I really don't want to risk getting that mentality at all for this game, because the fear of having your favorite game suddenly be your most hated game is a very real one. And that is not something I ever want to experience with Genshin Impact. And just... I've invested a lot in this game, especially the characters, because I have this mentality of always having every character at minimum second ascension. And that's a stupid thing, you might be saying. That is extremely stupid. I forgot to ascend this. And there, now it looks different. But I've done this with Diona. I've done this with Yanfei, because the biggest thing a character can be is from 0 to 40. I've gotten them to 40, and that's because it lets me upgrade their talents. I have every character, even characters like Diona, who you never want to upgrade their auto attack. I always upgrade their auto attack to at least minimum 2. I need to put more investment in Child, but hell, even Amber, I decided, you know what, do this for the lulz, because I didn't have any character left. And that's because I like the teachings. the way I farm for talent books is, say I want to make this, I grind for D's. Maybe I do a philosophy for diligence grind, where I just try to get these. I get 3 of these, but I get 3 of these. That means in alchemy, that run essentially has given me 4 of these. And with Shincho, just basically just makes it so that if I end up with an even number, I have the chance of getting it as an uneven number, which will turn it back to another one of these. I've already made it somewhat efficient, especially because of using condensed resin specifically for talent books. I just do 3 runs with condensed resin, maybe 4. And it just makes it easier for me, to be honest. It just means I won't run out of stuff I care about. And I need to check the timer. This has always been like... Oh, I didn't expect someone to actually comment during this update video. But yeah, that's also why I'm doing this on Twitch, so that people can see what's up and what's wrong. And this has been one very rambly update video, but I just really hope that you guys now understand. Because I really want to keep playing this game. I want to keep playing it until I've gotten everything. Until I've essentially just gotten everything that I would need. Oh hey, I get wood from this. But
Something terrible happen again.
oh, timber. That's another achievement. But
Have you heard?
it just means I can give you guys what you want. But I can save myself the endless grinding. And I guess that is just everything, basically. I have essentially, the massive insanity that I did, which was get every blue weapon to 2nd Ascension, get them to 5th Ascension, to 5th refinement, if I could get it. The massive undertaking that was the Windbloom's Oath. I like events like that with new weapons where there's just a faster way to level them up. Those are the things that I like, because those things make it easier for casual players like me. And I just really want to take it slow. Just please know that I know I need to upgrade stuff. I know that I can upgrade it. It took me a while to get this for Jean, because I liked my hybrid Jean setup. I still want to say that this is somewhat hybrid-y, but the artifacts are leaning more into physical. Except the cup. The cup increases my ammo damage. But And please don't take this as I can't accept criticism. I can accept it. It's just when it all starts echoing, once it starts turning into an echo chamber where just every criticism is just the same over and over, and it's always given with the same narcissistic tone. It just becomes grating. And the last thing, the few times I did explode, that was because out of sheer stubborn determination to finish something. Contending Tides was like the best example of this. Contending Tides was it was my favorite event because it had a lot of ways of fighting that I enjoyed because it didn't force me to use just Vaporize or Melt. Now, mind you, I will still say to this day, fuck Battle of an Epoch, because that one was very freeze dependent, very frozen dependent, and I didn't have almost next. I had only 2 cryo characters, and one of them was going to nerf the damage of my other 2 DPS, of my other 2 party members. So Kaya was essentially in that scenario. Kaya was my only cryo. I had a couple hydros, but I didn't know who was going to be the best. Contending Tides taught me that I needed to upgrade a few characters, which I did, because if you thought I didn't want to level stuff, you should have seen my teams before Contending Tides. Contending Tides basically told me, hey, upgrade your characters and then you can handle it. I was able to handle most of these enemies 15 levels above me with what I currently have, after I upgraded a few talents. And it was amazing. But again, it had a lot of different ways of fighting that made me really happy. Especially because in the back of my mind, I didn't say it in that stream, and I will say it again, I didn't have to use Melt or Vaporize, because fuck Melt and Vaporize, to be honest. They're yeah, those 2 are the best way to get easy Unga Bunga numbers. But I just don't like the big, meaty number. I like seeing tons of tiny numbers. Just saying, yeah, I'm doing a lot. And when I say tiny, I mean like high triple digits, like almost 4 digits. Over and over and over and over and over again. It's why I love Electrocharge a lot. And I love Swirl because it's a stat spreader. I can spread an element from one enemy to all the enemies around it, and then I can just switch to another and pop an elemental reaction right then and there. It just makes it so much easier. I'm still excited. I'm still hoping Inazuma will come soon. Sooner rather than later. And I guess I should be ending this video right now, because I have not much else to say anymore. But just thank you for I just want to say thank you for helping me since when I started to now. All of you who have stuck to watch all of this, who have been very patient with how I play the game. Like, I want to say a thank you to you guys, but at the same time, I have to ask. Just be patient with me. I don't do things very quickly, but that's because I have a lot of stuff to do. And if you have any games you want me to stream, just ask. As long as I don't have to spend like $60, because that's also another thing. I'm limited right now on hard drive space. And I would need, when I move, I'm going to try to upgrade, get a second hard drive that's way, way bigger than what I currently have. Just so that I can download a few games I've been wanting to stream. One of them is Doom Eternal, the other one is Horizon Zero Dawn. Of which I know Doom is going to be like just pure fun to play regardless. And the other one is Horizon Zero Dawn, which I know that's a game that's going to keep me very, very, very busy for God knows how long. But again, I have to repeat myself. It's about time I have to end this little update video. And once again, thank you everyone for just basically being here and listening to my ramblings. Tomorrow, because today is Sunday, by the time I'm recording, and hopefully when this will be posted is on Sunday of May 16th, 2021. Tomorrow, on Monday, I will still be here to help to stream Hollow Knight. And again, that's another game I'm going to have to kindly ask you guys to not backseat game. I've had a few friends who tried to backseat game me during that, and I'd rather not. Backseat gaming can be very annoying. So, see you all tomorrow. And just thank you for saying this for the third time, listening to my inane ramblings, and hopefully you'll understand me more this time. See you tomorrow.